10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello,
Hello, dear. How are you?
I am alive.
Hello, Ivana. I've missed you. We have missed you. Yes,
Yes.
Miss Kim has been helping us hold it down. For those of you just tuning in, we are Royal Ladies of Truth. We have Miss Ivana here, and I am Miss L.A. Yes. And so, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so
Welcome.
glad that you are with us tonight.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. Ooh, honey, I'm tired. I'm tired, but I'm here. And I'm happy to be here.
And you have something special coming up, right? You have a birthday coming up tomorrow.
Another year of life, love, happiness, and strength.
But we are Royal Ladies of Truth, where we believe in living our possible. Yes, we believe that with God, all things are possible, and that God will strengthen you to be able to accomplish what He has placed in you. And we hope that His plans for your life and His purpose for your life is realized. Go forward and live your possible. Yes.
Live your possible,
Yes.
live your
And
possible.
we will be doing something very special tomorrow, right?
Yes, we're doing some things that's living on the edge.
Living on the edge a little bit. What are we going to do, dear Ivana? What are we going to do?
We're going hang gliding.
We are going hang gliding. Woo!
Whoa, for my birthday.
Yes, yes. We're going hang gliding to help celebrate your birth. Yes,
My
we are.
birthday. Said my
Yes,
birth. Yes,
yes,
my birth.
yes.
What do you remember most about my birth?
What I remember most is that you came, well, number one, you were the first child that I had that my water broke naturally.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes, thank you. And then also, when you came into this world, you came out like here, you came out smiling. And you came out like, okay, here I am, world. Let's do this. I mean, really, you were so energetic. You were like, let's do this. And we've been trying to keep up with you ever since.
Ah, that's beautiful.
But I
Ah,
think we're going to highlight a particular business tonight. Do you have that information?
I do have that information in my
Yes. And I
phone.
think this is dear LaShonda. And she assisted us so much and helped us pull it all together, decorating for our Women's Summit, Royal Ladies of Truth Women's Summit, which was held last year in November, the first week of November, and it will be held again this year, the first week of November. Look out for more information. And so you have that information up?
Yes, so her name is LaShonda.
Mm-hmm.
And her business is called Glam Vision Events.
Would you say that again a little louder?
Glam Vision Events.
Glam Vision
We
Events.
specialize in weddings and home event decor.
Mm.
They can be contacted on their website at glamvisionevents.com. That's glamvisionevents.com. Or on Instagram or Facebook at Glam Vision Events. And you can follow her and get you some good services for your events and for your home decor. She sets it up and she puts it back up, and it's a really awesome
And
service.
she was just so good to work with.
Yes,
And that's the
she
thing.
was very
Sometimes,
punctual.
sometimes individuals they are talented, but they are not that great to work with. And she was my experience, from my personal experience, our experience. I can say that she was a joy to work with. Yes.
Amen.
So we want to give that shout out.
Yes, thank you very much, Lashonda. We
Yes,
appreciate
yay,
you.
yay. Yes, indeed. And so let's just get right into it. Our topic for tonight is men stand down. We talked about women and we put forth some scenarios about when women should possibly stand down. And Ivana, you were not here. That was Miss Kim and myself, and it was an excellent, excellent show. I believe the conversation was very productive, and hopefully we were able to help individuals think a little bit about some things they may not have thought about before, or reconsider some things, and take time to breathe and think before you act, or before you speak. All right.
When should a woman
But
stand
tonight,
down? When should a woman stand down?
but that was a whole nother scenario.
When should a woman
Darling,
stand down?
you're gonna need to go back and watch
I
that
know,
show.
but you tell me your top
Yes.
situation. What do you think?
Tonight we're gonna be speaking
You gotta
about.
recap for the people, cause I mean
They need to go
I
back
gotta
and watch
recap
that.
too. Y'all can have a little, sneak peek of our last episode. I'll send you the link. But meanwhile,
That wasn't the
When
last one.
the
That was
last-
two prior. That was a couple prior.
but I just want to know, out of interest, when do you think is the most important time for a woman to stand down?
Well, we were talking about it was very involved, Ivana. Okay, and it was in regard to we put a specific scenario out there, and we talked about multiple scenarios, and one was if you were at a particular function and they had told you that you could go in and out, and you had wristbands, and you had checked multiple times, and then when you checked even again before you left out of the venue, and you were told yes, you could go come back in, and then one of you got in the vehicle, and then your date, your spouse, whomever, went to go back in. It was something that you wanted to get, and then they stopped him and said no, that he could not come back in. He comes to tell you, and do you just and you want to jump out and go handle it, and your spouse or your husband says no, let's just go, and everything in you wants to go and deal with it. And we
Handle
talk
the
about being in your feelings, or being prideful. With men, we would say being in your ego mode. And we were saying that you don't know what that conversation consisted of. Maybe your spouse or husband saw your spouse or a boyfriend saw something that you didn't see, maybe aware of something you're not aware of. And consider who you're with, consider that they have your best interests at heart, knowing that they will fight for you or stand up when needed. But when they're saying, no, dear, let's just go, and we talked about you've had a great time, and if you go on and get out of the vehicle, you go on and say, I'm going to go handle this anyway, I'm not listening to you, then that could cause a damper on the whole rest of the evening.
Cool.
And so it was very, very involved.
I mean, I've definitely been in a situation where, some guys just like, oh, no, it's fine. And women are mostly the ones that's like, no, it's not. If it comes down to food, like, oh, he didn't ask for that on his plate. And, just like little things like that where you might get onions and you said no onions, and the guy would be like, it's fine. And the girl would be like, no, he said no onions. Take it back. And he'll be like, no, it's good. That's a small scale version of that scenario.
Right,
but
right.
sometimes, let the
But
guy
see-
have it. I learned that sometimes the guys really don't care. It's okay. Just chill out, stand
Right.
down.
Because sometimes, and then you do need to go on and stand down, because they're telling you, in so many instances, that you to them are worth more than the rest of that. They want to have that time with you, continue having a wonderful time, and not put a damper on the rest of the evening. And even if they got out of the vehicle, they could be resentful. You would become resentful if they don't speak up with you, right? or take your side, and they just stand there. And so we went through a lot of different scenarios. And like I said, go back and view the broadcast.
Go back and watch.
Yes,
tune in, have your
yes.
own conversations.
Yes, but tonight we're speaking about men stand down.
All the time. Stand down all the time. Just let us have it. Just let us win.
Nope. That's
Just
not,
let us win.
that's not
Just
that's
kidding.
not.
Sometimes guys know better. I definitely
It's men.
I've seen it both ways.
It's men stand down, meaning it's an inner strength to be able to stand down. For women as well, it's an inner strength. Comes from a place of strength, not weakness, to be
Yes.
able to stand down. And one scenario would be, excuse me, if you had you were out with your family, you were out with your wife or your date. Maybe there were additional ladies with you, or there were children with you, and you being the gentleman of the man, right? And maybe a guy, or maybe they're a group of guys or a group of folk, and they're jawing you, or they're being a little rude, or they're being a little out of hand, or you see a situation kind of getting out of hand or whatever. Your first priority is not to get into your ego and wanting to go and get that person or engage in verbal abuses, right?
Are you sure that's not their first approach?
No. The first
Talking about the guys.
the first objective is to get your loved ones to safety.
That is a mature thing to do, yes.
Yes, your first objective is to get your loved ones to safety, especially if you see it be turning into a volatile situation. And that's what we're saying, that men stand down, meaning that you're not putting yourself first. You're not putting your ego out there first. Your first objective, and you're putting your family first, right? Because the man, especially if you're a husband, you are the priest of that household, you are the provider, and you are the protector. And
excuse me, can I interject? Just a
and
little
not
while
saying that you are the only provider or the only person providing within the household, but that but those are roles, a primary roles that you place within a relationship. And so basically, you don't want to put yourself out there and get into yourself. You want to think of your family first.
All right.
But then I have another scenario.
Okay, another one. Go
Yes.
ahead, go ahead.
And you keep your thought process as well. But what
No, it's
if,
over.
like someone was sharing with me this evening, that they were escorting their mom down steps, and the mother has difficulty going down the steps, and this young person just came flying down, almost, getting ready to knock the mom down, and he just, kind of like, no, this is not happening, just blocked them. And so there are times where you may have to engage, and that's part of a protective mode. But still, you're not doing out of ego, you're doing that out of necessity. So it's always, whatever your actions are, they are because of your love and your unselfishness for your family and for whoever you are with at that time. Go ahead, dear.
Let's put it all on the table, eh? Lay the foundation.
Okay,
Let them see it.
let's go.
I mean, I think a really good thing that you said earlier, well, part of what you said that makes standing down or knowing when to stand down is important is just knowing when something is escalating and recognizing. I think that's the hardest part for people that don't know when to stand down in both contexts. Like,
Okay.
people, like you said, they do have pride or, are protective of their loved ones, and that might sometimes cause them to not recognize when something's escalating and maybe further instigate a situation without knowing it.
Right.
Or
And see, that's what
fall
we don't
into the
want to
trap.
do. We don't want to
fall into the trap of being in a situation that is escalating just because you were so passionate about trying to fix whatever's wrong, and that could, like I said, both ends. But guys, especially, they there's something about their, yeah. I mean, you can call it pride, but
Ego.
something about them that it makes it a little harder. From what I've seen sometimes, when they feel like you have tried them and whoever they're with, like the person they care about, it's a little harder for them to see
But see, if a
the
fight,
bigger picture.
if a fight ensues, if they get into a fight, right, then there's more opportunity for the person you with to get injured, right? And so they need to be taken into
Injured. I mean, usually they, yes, injured, but I guess I'm thinking of
And then sometimes nowadays too, let's be real, right? We are being real, but let's put it out there
I'm thinking
that a
the
lot of
mindset
people they will
they're not thinking
pull out
about
a gun in a minute.
Oh yeah, people don't like
And
to
so-
fight as much these days.
And so we know bullets have no names on them. I mean, I'm just saying that you don't say, okay, go directly to that person or whatever, and so therefore, my what I'm putting forth is that you always want to try to make those decisions, whether you must engage, because sometimes engagement may be necessary. All right.
And
But
what
you're always
context?
but you're the context that I gave you earlier about the person's mother going down the steps and someone almost trying to come around and being rude and wanting to almost knock them over and
So
you
what
block
are they,
them.
what are you
But
doing?
I'm saying you always come from a place of in your thought process, I would think, of not from the ego perspective, because that can cause you to do some things that can be counterproductive, but you come from a inner strength perspective where you do what's going to be best for your loved ones and yourself. So in other words, it's a selfless place. It's an inner strength place, because it takes strength, especially for men to stand down.
Especially for a man. I mean, it's really good to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. That's what a lot of people I know says. Diamond said, hold on, we got some chat going on.
Okay.
Got it. Greetings. That should be a man's objective. However, I often find men react out of impulse, unfortunately.
See, that's
Are
what we
there
want.
times when they should stand up instead of standing down?
Yes.
What if it causes a after? What if that causes a altercation? Oh, that's why it's all L.
All right. If your family is in immediate danger, then you have no recourse. If that other person is physically engaging, if that person is following you, and or a group is following you, and they're not standing down, they're not backing off, and they're not giving you all space, right? Then that may be a time where they continue on to where they need to be. Your family may have to continue on, and you may have to turn and stand your ground. So there are times like that, but that is still coming from a place of inner strength. It's still coming from a place of controlled strength. It's not coming from a place of just flying off of your feelings and ego. All right.
Well, let me give you a situation. There was I know this girl.
Did you hear what I said?
I did, but it
Okay.
reminded me of something I heard. It was a story of somebody I know, and we say it is easier said than done. It's better to try to avoid the situation.
That's why we're talking about it. We're having a conversation about it.
Sometimes things do happen. So I had a friend who, I guess, was leaving a very toxic relationship, and she had someone else in her life that was like her homeboy. And as she was leaving the situation, the guy yelled out like, called her out of her name.
Abusive, obscene
And
names.
the guy that's her friend was trying to go and handle the other guy. And she was like, no, say it's not worth it. And she was holding it back. And they got in the car and left. But then the friend got mad at her because he was like, why would you not let me, go handle the old boy when he's calling you out your name? And he was really mad at her because she wouldn't let him fight him. So I'm like, wow, that's interesting.
But see, okay.
Some people might be like, shoot,
do you want to hear
to be handled?
Do you want to hear Miss LA's you want to hear what I have to say on that?
Go ahead.
Okay. Number one, it's not. I'm trying to think of the term. It's not immediate. It's another term that means like immediate danger. In that that person is a distance away. So you're not right up on it. That person's not up in your face. That person's not up in her face. That person is not grabbing her, and that person's just running their mouth, right? Then the other friend is right there with her. Get her and leave.
So if they just talking about it.
Because number one, the first person that if he would go and engage that person, put his hand on the guy, right? Then we're talking about assault. We're talking about battery. And somebody may end up going to jail and then getting prosecuted. And it's going to be the first person, right, that laid hands. Now, also, that's my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, but that's my understanding. Also, you're going from, you may escalate the situation from verbal to now, because this guy's already trying to show out. So you're trying, he is trying to goat you into something.
Yeah, that's
okay.
What I said.
So if you go toward him and engage, you just falling into what he's trying to do, and you don't know what he may have on him. You don't know who else he may have with him that's going to be backing him up. Because usually people, when they're doing that, they're doing it not from a place of strength. They're cowards.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I mean,
and
you
so
already doing
and
that.
So
and
so cowards, just for the term, using the term cowards, do not, do it without having something on them or knowing they got other people that are going to back them up, because they're cowards.
Seriously.
Number one, the person has no integrity based on what you shared with me, and the person is not showing that he is a man, right? And you're resorting to these things, right? And then definitely not a gentleman, right? And so now if you go toward them, you're possibly escalating it from verbal to physical, right? Which is not productive. Somebody's going to get injured. Somebody's going to get hurt. Possibly the lady may feel obligated to go and try to help.
So what if the guy
and then she runs to try to help? Then what? So you got this brawl going on.
But what if the guy went from
and the establishment is going to call the police?
Verbal to physical, and he comes for the guy or the girl, and you say now, in that context, all right, cool, stand up.
Oh yes, if that guy moves from where he is, and you're trying now, even if you turn to try to leave, you always watching.
Don't turn your back.
You are always watching to see what the person is doing. All right, we're not being foolish, right? We are always aware, always be aware of your situation, right? And anyway, any place you go, you need to always have an exit plan when you're going out and you're in an environment other than your home. And so that person starts moving in towards you, the first thing you're saying is, stop. You're getting in my space.
Yeah.
Okay? They continue to move towards you.
Face.
They continue to move towards you. Then I'm feeling you're threatening us now. Man, you're threatening us. You're moving into our space. And then you know, you do what you have to do to
Move it in my space.
you do what you have to do to protect.
That-
At that point, you do what you have to do to
The
protect
warning shots have been
in
fired.
in a minimum context, right?
Diamond.
You're not jumping on them and going crazy like a madman.
Right.
Your purpose is still
Restrain.
to diffuse the situation and then get yourselves out of there.
Diamond said you can't be trying to protect someone and then get upset with them because they know that your reaction could cause a worse turnout.
Right.
Sir
And then-
was wrong.
yeah,
Lord, and wrong.
Yeah. And but
Mind you, the guy was trying to gaslight them into a situation. So
Yes.
yeah, some
And
people
then
will
also-
instigate.
yeah, and then also you can't sometimes you may want to defend, a gentleman may want to try to defend or a situation, and he can't fully do what he may feel he may need to do because the other person may get injured.
Right.
They're not in a safe place. So there are a lot of things that a man is going on in his brain. My thing is, if you're with a guy and he tells you to step back or go behind whatever or go do it.
Yeah, I had to
Don't
learn that.
stand.
Why?
Don't
What
stand.
is it?
Don't argue. Don't ask why. Just do what you're asked to do, and then that's one less thing he has to think about.
It's part of trust.
Yeah, that's one less thing that he
For
has to
sure.
think about, and he can be focused.
That's why it's good to have that good trust foundation.
Yes.
Because everybody, it takes some men a while to
So what do
gain
you
that
want-
level of trust with
Yeah.
a woman to where they can literally just say,
Right.
move or go here, and they not question
Yeah.
it. Because a
And-
lot of times the first reaction for people is, wow, I was wrong.
Yeah, and so that little brief moment can cost somebody's life, and so it is just so important. Number one, to be operating, like I said again, not from a place of me and ego, where you're seeing red because you've been disrespected.
Yes.
You a gentleman or a man, you're going to be operating from a place of love and inner strength. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that?
I just think when it comes down to it, it really comes to self-control because
Mm-hmm.
it takes a very large level of maturity to deal with situations like that. And I mean, know when to not escalate the situation or not to continue to escalate it if someone's instigating it because, like Diamond said, people will bait you into
They will.
situations if
They
they
will.
know, like this guy was like one of those people that like you already knew, like if you hit that person first, they're gonna call the police like they're the victim just to
Right.
get their whatever.
Right.
So just really knowing how to use your discernment,
Right.
engage the situation.
Right.
I mean, I feel like that's what we're all kind of trying to grow towards. If you're not
Right.
already there, me myself, I'm a person with words. Like I'm all about words, so I'm not gonna fight you for real. Like I'd rather have a conversation. I'd rather
And
talk
sometimes
about it.
people don't
And
wanna
then if
have
you
a
don't want to talk,
conversation.
then we're not talking, and that's fine. But if it ever gets to the point where you want to be physical or you're upset to that level, and you're like, it's never worth it to me.
No.
Like
Let them-
after a certain level in life, it's like all that back and forth. He's like all the aggression that you have that comes with like having a disagreement or your pride being hurt or whatever. It's not worth
It's-
the backlash of what your actions
What
would
can
do
happen and
as
it's-
an adult.
And it's not
Because
worth
you're not kids anymore.
Right.
Like, you can't
Right.
just see, he hurt my feelings. He made me mad. I'm going to hit him.
Right.
No. Like you said, people have guns now. A lot of
Right.
people don't like to just hit.
and it's not
And
worth
you-
your life.
Atlanta, you will be Atlanta. The homicide rate definitely went up after COVID-19 because we did have an influx of people come in from out of town, and every time there's an influx of people come in from out of town, like the rate of homicides go up, the rate of murder cases go up because a lot of times one is not the people that live here, it's people
Right.
that don't live here. And
I
there's
hear you.
a lot of intermixing, and you got to really learn how to just learn that people are crazy. That might not be your people. You think it's your people.
Right.
You used to operate in a certain way, communicating
Right.
with people in your community a certain way, and then
You
you
know,
say
that's a good point.
you say something to somebody else is not from here, and they just know kill.
Right.
So you really gotta just be like, you know what? this is not worth whatever everything
That's
else I got
right.
going on. Whether you're a guy, girl, and that could be with
Mhm.
your spouse, a homie, even friends.
Mhm.
I've seen people that are friends, like, and they might have mutual well, other friends, and
Other
they just,
people. Mhm.
it could be the other friend that's like, I'm
That's
standing
right.
up for my friend right now, and it turned into something crazy. So
That's right.
it's good to see the signs of when it's like, all right, you know
Right.
what, this is getting to the point of no return, or
Right.
this is getting to a point where no one's gonna win this,
Right.
and it's getting to a point where you're okay
Right.
with no one winning.
Right.
That's goals.
Right.
Because I know a lot of people that's not okay with. I mean, not
And
to that point.
I would like to do this topic again when we can have some men on
Oh,
as
'cause
well,
they definitely-
because also I was talking to someone, and a gentleman, and he was saying that one situation where it will be controlled, where you're standing down, but you're standing down in a volatile situation, and you're standing down ready. You're standing down on the ready if you need to. And that situation would be, and the example was given, for instance, if you were on a subway, like a close place where you have to be in close proximity to each other, then and sometimes people are just kind of rude in the way they behave and operate and pushing and things like that. And he was saying that sometimes, and this is a man to man language, you have to just get that other side of you and look that face and those eyes where you can lock with another guy and to basically say, okay, it's enough, right? And I guess it's a man code thing. They know that I ain't playing. Don't come over here. Whatever you
Right.
want to take that foolishness, take it somewhere else. So
No,
there
sis.
are deference, there are deterrents that body language and posturing that men can do, that will cause other guys that are basically cowards to stand down. Now you
Yeah.
have some that are just out for no good.
No
then
good, no
then
reason.
then you just ask to be empowered, and you do the best you can do in that situation.
Exactly.
Okay.
Diamond said, I say you shouldn't be around people who you can't trust in any situation. At this point, I'm too old. I'm not giving you any of my energy if you put me in a position to where now we have to have some type of back and forth verbal altercation. I don't have the time. Unless you put your hands on me, you no longer exist. I'll move around you. No, seriously. Like, that's so unattractive to me. It's like a man that doesn't have the self-control to just walk away or just ignore someone or just learn when something's not worth your energy. Because like I said, I've seen a lot of guys be in a situation where you saw it from 10 miles away and they just walked right into it.
You
Like,
walk right into
they
it.
weren't even really serious, or they weren't even really
Well,
trying to
I'll
have that
tell you,
conversation.
I'll ask you as a young lady, and I ask the other whoever else is maybe in the chat, would you be willing, if a situation is escalating, would you think less of a man? Would you be willing to just leave out of that establishment? Is your life worth it? Is his life worth it? To just kind of say, you know what? If he says, "All right, baby, let's just go," would you be willing to do that, or would you
Don't
take
be weak. Take them out. Put your hands up. No, I'm playing. I would definitely be like, I mean, it depends on how big the other guy is. No, I'm playing. I mean, like we said, we got to get back to people got weapons. So
Yeah, I'm just
I
saying.
don't have.
I'm saying,
nobody
would
has
you all
the
be okay with
energy.
that? To just, just leave and maybe go somewhere else that is, even more fun, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I'm okay with leaving. I'm okay as long as you didn't get punked out. When I say punked out, I mean
What
it's
does that mean?
okay to say something in an intelligent way to a person to express that you are not okay with how
Okay.
they're speaking.
And then, like I said, also men have a way of using nonverbal language. They have a way of posturing. They have a way of looking. You know, just like we women do now. Come on now. We ladies.
I need you to give examples.
We ladies, I did give examples earlier. I know you're tired, but I gave some examples.
No, of different ways that guys posture themselves.
Yes, I did.
Non-verbally.
Yes, and you know, we ladies we do that also.
Our whole lives are non-verbal
but
communication.
Don't you, whoa, ladies?
Men are verbal, women are non-verbal.
But ladies, we do give off energy. We give off energy. We give off signals. You know, we give those little
we want you
indicators.
to read our mind. Guys, I just hear this all the time. Somebody said today, they were like, women are complicated because they literally sometimes, instead of just saying what they want or what they're thinking, they assume that you know and they want you to guess.
And we talked
and they
about
get
that
mad
on one of our shows.
when you don't know.
Right.
But you literally did not tell me, so how am I supposed to know? And for me, it's like, oh my gosh, literally, if this has happened 1,000 times and this is what needs to happen 1,001 times. But I had to learn that men aren't as complex as far as thinking about the whole situation all the way through like I would. Like, you're not thinking like I'm thinking in this situation, even though in my mind, this has happened 10,000 times. This is a new day for you, and this is a whole new situation, even though it's the same situation.
Well,
so sometimes they have to be told, like, hey, this is what I want. This is what I don't want.
Let me break it down to something just really simple. Let's just say even ordering food. There are some things that I would think that my husband would know.
For all the 40 years.
Yes. And how I like a certain thing or I don't like. But, you know, when our tastes do change, our tastes change as we get older sometimes, or our, different flavors, and we like to mix it up a little bit.
You like to mix it up a lot.
And they don't.
Without warning.
And moving right along, and not necessarily
evolve every week.
Not necessarily. That's just what your daddy tells you. I'm not necessarily.
This woman will be like, I am a simple eater. I just want nachos with jalapenos, but beans on the side, but with the queso on top, but with chips not too salty, but with the crust on the side, and then the jalapeno. It's just simple. Y'all don't know me. Y'all don't know that's what I want. First of all, I need a pen and a pad, because what did you just say? No, in your mind, it's yes.
I believe your daddy has told. Okay, this is a side note, but anyway, you get all into my personal business. No, let's be real. Your dad has told you all that so much that you're beginning to believe it.
I have seen you be like, I just want
anyway, what
simple.
I was getting at is that there are some things that I get that I believe, okay, he should, be aware of. However, I will still share with him what I want and how I would like to have it, because
sometimes
I know he still needs that.
Yes, you share with him because you know he still needs that. Because when he doesn't bring the right food,
and let's stay on topic.
You know what I'm saying? You already know. He didn't know. You got to give that information. That goes for a lot of things. And not getting upset if he does bring the wrong thing. Because for me, it's a thought that counts.
Yes.
I'm just happy that I have something for free. Okay? Because you paid for it. Thank you, baby. Enjoy. I'm going to take it off. I'm going to take the tomato off my sandwich. I don't like tomatoes on my sandwich. Fun fact. All right. Well, Diamond said, I've learned by losing someone very close. I've learned by losing someone very close to me that it's easier to leave. I wouldn't think any less of him. My grandma would say, know when to hold him and know when to fold him.
All right.
Shade. No, shade. But no, seriously, like that's a big thing, especially in America, man.
But that's good
There's
to
such
hear.
a big stigma on men being less of men by just
But see, that's
leaving.
what we say. It takes an inner strength. And especially, know who you're with. If you know that your man that you're with is strong, you know he will protect. You know that he has strength and character. You know that he will give his life for you if called for. Then know who you're with. And if that is the case, when he says, all right, baby, let's hit it, then all right, I'm out of here with you. Let's go. At least we're leaving together. And I'm not having to, we're not having to take a chance on one of us being.
At least we leaving together.
Yes.
With both of everything and
Yes.
having everything intact. I mean, even in the context of like,
But
know when to hold them, know when to fold them with a good. We just tried to change the name of the topic of the day is know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
No.
That's the millennial interpretation for sure. Know when to stand down. I mean, I feel like it's important for men to know. Actually, I feel like men do a pretty good job, at least the type of men I like, do a pretty good job of not being argumentative. I feel like that's almost a female trait to me when someone is just really quick to go back and forth with you about little things. I think the biggest quality I like in men is like they're most likely to be like, you got it. Okay. All right. Like they're not trying to go back and forth all day. I feel like women almost like, we're not dominating, but men know like most women can out-talk them. And they'd rather talk about it later when you're calm and have a different conversation than go back. That's a mature man.
And that's another point, too, of men stand down. It's when you know that the lady is in a mode. She's gotten into another mode. And she is, had it, or
I cannot win this.
She needs to express herself. Then just let her express herself.
Let it go.
But the trick is that there's an art to it. Is for the man not to seem dismissive not to seem like he's being patronizing.
Yeah.
Right?
So there's a fine line.
Yes, it's a fine line.
It's like you better be quiet. You gotta be smart and quiet at the same time and listen. But the way you look at me while you listening matters too. And then your tone of voice when you say it's okay, it matters too. So everything you could either this could go left or right based on how you let me have it.
So there is an art to it. And so in that case, the man can stand down and just let her get it on out. And then engage at another point. And that goes not only for the man, though, that also goes for the lady. Ladies need to stand down in those situations. And I will say it over and over again. It takes discipline and inner strength to do that.
Maturity.
And you must come from a place of not me, but come from a place of love, right? And care for that other person and your relationship. Just like we want to get this in, because this came up this week, that when you're in a difficult verbal a discussion or a challenging discussion with someone that you are in a relationship with, be it dating or married.
Yes.
Remember, and that you deeply care for, right? That you remember that you are not battling that individual.
You're battling the problem.
You're argumenting your point. You're stating your argument and debating and maybe even battling back and forth in regard to a particular subject, but not the individual. So don't do the low blows. Don't go personal attacking. Don't do any of that. Remember that the person you're speaking with is someone that you love and that you care for and that you choose to be with, right? So always come at them with respect. And then when it gets too much, somebody's got to say, and stand down. Somebody's going to have to stand down and say, you know what? We need to table this for right now.
Ooh,
we are not being productive.
Hold that thought. I mean, yeah. Oh man, it's just hard. It's hard sometimes. That's why it's like before you even get to that
hard
point.
Sometimes? Why?
It's hard once you get into it because it's like now.
But why?
The battle is on. Who's gonna take it? But you try not to get to that realm. Even women, even men. Like it's just like you said, knowing to hold them, knowing to fold them. But like really knowing what your triggers are. It's one thing to, and you really gotta know what your style of communication is
Right.
too.
But then, see,
And know
then-
that the person can't read your mind. I had to really tell someone one time, like, hey, because I was talking to a person where their language of communication was try to fix everything in the moment when I'm saying something. Like, okay, well, there's a problem, so I should probably fix it. That'll make it better. But sometimes you just want somebody to hear you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, I don't, especially if the situation's over,
Right.
and I'm talking about something you've done already, and it's over.
Right.
Now I just have to, I'm just want to tell you what happened, why I didn't like it, and what I need in the future. Now, if I'm telling you this and you're just saying, well, I'll just do this. Well, I'll just do this. It don't matter. Well, what if I just do this? Then it just sounds like, okay, you're not listening to what I'm saying.
But then
You're just trying to give me solutions to the future. I get that. But sometimes people just want to be heard in the moment.
Right, but
and
Ivana,
they
though,
don't
you have to
want-
consider the other person too. Maybe that other person, they're hearing you, but the other person wants to be heard as well.
Yes, but I feel like if you're the one with the problem, like sometimes people get upset.
You're the one. with the
Sometimes
problem.
get upset. Other people get upset at a person who's upset. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I know you're upset, but you're not trying to hear what I have to say about you being upset. Some people don't want to hear nothing when they're upset, and you have to
Right.
kind of see that they're not trying to hear none of that right now. And I
And
just
that comes with people skills, and that comes with even from childhood parents, having their children around a lot of different individuals, playing different scenarios, talking with them, asking them how they feel, how they may handle different things throughout the age groups, right? So that they can learn interpersonal skills. Those interpersonal skills and how to read people start at a very, very early age. And we develop our communication skills and our styles of communication at a very, very early age.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I like, it's funny because all the guys that are close to me in my life, like all my really close guy friends, if you pay attention, they're like really chill and really quiet. They come off chill and quiet, but actually, like, they play all day. But their demeanor is not very quick to speak. They're very quick to listen because those are the type of people that are effective in my life because when I do have an issue or concern, they're quick to listen. You know what I'm saying? They're not quick to try to explain themselves. It's like, okay, well, I hear what you're saying. Thanks for sharing.
So you're
now
saying
let's have
that's
a
what
conversation
you're
about
saying
it.
that's what you need.
Yeah, and it's like I find that people that are more
Are you providing them also what they need?
outspoken, it's cool to be outspoken and stuff, but just knowing when
But are
is
you
the time to
But are you willing to do it the flip side? Are you willing to also that's what you're requiring. Are you also willing to give them what they require?
I've definitely learned how to listen more than I speak over the
Okay.
years.
Okay.
You know, I'm a very solution based person as well. But also I had someone tell me, like, I'm not telling you this for you to tell me a solution right now. Sometimes I just want you to hear what I'm feeling.
Right.
And you got to learn when those moments are when you're having that moment. Like, when is this person just trying to tell me how they're feeling, or when is this person looking for a response as to what
And
we
so
want to do now?
That's another level of standing down. So now we've covered so many different levels and so many different types of scenarios in this brief period of time together of standing down. Oh my goodness, this has been really engaging, a great conversation.
doing?
And I just wanted to say this.
What you doing?
No, I just wanted to say this. We can continue for about
Oh,
5 more
why
minutes,
you-
but I wanted to just say.
In the middle of
I
talking.
but I just wanted to say this, that we are having a conversation. We welcome you to the conversation. But remember, this is for your reflection. We give golden nuggets. But you are living your own life. You make your own
You don't
decisions.
gotta listen to what we say.
You
it's
make
not on us if something happens if you listen to what we say.
You're
after the
accountable.
show.
You are accountable for your own decisions
Make
solely.
your own choices.
All right, dear
I've been up
Ivana,
since 5
you
a.m.
may-
We having this conversation.
You may continue.
I am here. The
Go ahead.
conversation shall be had.
Continue.
But no, it's like I think it's interesting to really know how people are and know who you're with and know who you're talking to. Diamond said, I'm not arguing with my partner. I don't like the back and forth. I'm very much a person of allowing the situation to calm down before we start low blowing. Because if you go low, I'm going lower.
Okay, we
my
don't
objection
and see
is
this
to come to a real conclusion.
and so what we want to grow,
yourself.
what we want to grow to. Listen to Miss LA. What we want to grow to is that we're not doing low blows because that is counterproductive, right? It has nothing to do with the topic or nothing to do with the subject that's on the table, right? We want to stay focused on what needs to be discussed and how we can possibly best handle it. And it may not happen in that one sitting. It may take multiple sittings. It may take multiple discussions, and that's okay. And we have to be okay with that. And we have to be cognizant of trying to force that other person to be in our timing, right? Because sometimes we're ready to discuss something and the other person is not. And so we have to be cognizant of that and be respectful of that as well.
Ooh,
and
that's a good point.
and know that, okay, maybe we just need to set an appointment for us to discuss
We'll
this.
table this discussion because I'm
Right.
not ready. And that's me. I don't like to talk when I'm angry. I try not to speak when I'm angry because when I do speak when I'm angry, nothing good is coming out. So I just tell people, let's not talk right now because I probably really mean everything I'm saying, but not the way I say it. So let's just not have this discussion. I have enough self-control at this age to really know, like, we don't need to talk about this right now. Like I will literally
you'll
say,
be a year older tomorrow.
yes. And I will still say, we don't need to talk about this right now. If you really want to talk about it, I will listen to what you have to say, but I'm really trying not to speak right now. And I've literally said those words, like, I can hear you. I'm trying not to speak right now, but the level of frustration I feel, this could turn into a disagreement quickly.
Right.
So in order to keep my peace, let's table this. Let's come back to this. And not even like let's stay around and talk about something else. Like I'll be right back. Sometimes
Okay.
you got to go to your corner and breathe. Diamond
Right.
said, my objectives to come to a real conclusion. Lord, order my steps because I can lose focus real quick when the low blows start. Right. You just got to go before it even gets to that point. And as soon as that person says one thing that's like a trigger for you and you're already upset, no need to put yourself in a situation.
And see, the thing is also, we learn each other's triggers. And we need to love and respect and honor the other person enough not to go there. And that takes self-control. And that takes real love. If you really care and really love that person, you do not want to purposefully hurt that other person.
Boundaries.
Don't purposefully hurt the other person. And Ivana, we're about out of time. But I wanted to just address something really quick. And this is coming from my mouth. I do not go into a restaurant and say, I want this and this and this. I don't want this on it. I don't want that on it.
Only
Put
when
that on the
she's
side
ordering
and
to
all of
go.
that. No.
Only when you're ordering to go through somebody else.
No.
You have modifications.
No. What happens
It's okay.
is that when we would go out on a menu, I would order something that is on the menu.
Special of the day.
No. And they would not have it.
Every time.
And then I'd order something else on the menu.
And they ain't got that either.
And they would not have it.
You got
And
good
then my husband would start feeling bad for me and feeling a type of sort of way, getting into his man mode thing, right? And feeling that he is disappointing me. And because of that, he doesn't, it's difficult for him to handle. And so he's like, every time we go out, seem like, this happens, you can't get, and I'm like, it's not,
you can't get what you
it's
want.
not my fault,
And I want my
because
girl to have what
they
she
don't
want.
have it on the menu. And then I get something else and I order it, they have it, and I'm eating it, and he's watching me the entire time trying to see if I really enjoy it. You don't really want that. You don't really, how does that taste? It doesn't really taste good, does it? Do you really like it? So that's,
And you have to reassure him, yes.
and
it's
that's how it
delicious.
goes.
Thank you.
But that's because he cares. Now, on that note,
And Diamond
what
said, I
is your-
really mean everything I'm saying. and how I say it when I'm angry, so I don't like to talk mad. Right.
Don't talk
no one to
mad.
hold them, no one to fold them. And really, yeah, just don't. The Bible even says,
But that
don't
takes,
do anything in anger. Don't
but that
speak in
takes
anger.
inner strength, and we have to be cognizant of that. We have to remember to let our light shine, and don't purposefully say things that will hurt you, knowingly know will hurt that other person.
And if you see it coming, walk the other way. Sometimes you can see it coming.
Sometimes you can see it coming. All right.
Okay, this is Seven Springs Studios. We want to thank Miss Diamond for joining us in the chat
Yes.
today. You're
Thank you.
awesome. Thank you guys for having us and being here. My birthday's tomorrow. Gemini season going all year long. Let's go. Me and Miss LA gonna be flying in the sky tomorrow.
Yes, we
We're
will.
going parasailing. I'm gonna.
We're
sleep
going
for-
hang gliding.
Oh yeah, hang gliding. I'm gonna be. Yeah. I'm tired. I've been up since 5 a.m. honey.
All right.
You know, I've been adulting, so y'all excuse me.
I've been
Try to
awake
get it
since
in.
3:30 a.m.
Yeah, but I've been running around and dealing with people.
All right.
Management. All
All
right. Okay. Anyway, y'all just pray for me in this next chapter of my life and let me balance everything.
And pray for us for tomorrow,
Play
and that the weather holds out because it's
Oh
supposed to
my
rain.
gosh. in the
Mhm.
morning.
I don't know. We shall see what
We
happens.
gonna see what happens.
All right.
If not, the party will continue. Hit me in my DMs if you're trying to turn up tomorrow night, Thursday,
right.
June 10th. We going up all day.
All right.
I'm just playing.
All
Thank you
right.
guys for joining us. It's really good to have self-control. It's really good to know yourself and know your boundaries and those around you, and to prevent things from happening so that you don't have to be put in situations to where you're unsafe or the person you care about is unsafe. All right.
And do it, and always come from a place of
Love.
and self-control.
Know when to hold them, know when to fold them. We know that we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and with
Yes.
God, all things are possible.
possible.
We hope that you guys keep living your possible every day.
Yes.
Because, each day brings new opportunities. So.
Yes.
And the quote of the day that my friend just said earlier, she said, girl, some guys are just what she said? She said some guys are a fun time.
Is this something
Some
we want to
guys,
share?
some guys are meant for a fun time, but they're not meant for all the time. So basically, don't get confused with people that are for right now, and there are people that are forever, because you need to edify your soul, edify your spirit. And I forgot how she said it. It was real good, but we're gonna figure it out
That sounds
later.
like the dating, purposefully dating. Yes.
Yeah, let your soul be fed. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. Y'all be blessed.
God bless you until we see each other again.
Till we meet again.
Live your
Possible.
possible. Yes.
Amen.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.